शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। कठोपनिषद अध्याय 2 वल्ली 1 मंत्र 11। मनसैवेदमाप्तव्यम् नेह नास्ति किंचन मृत्योः समृत्युं गच्छति य इह नानेव पश्यति। A very important mantra of Kathopanishad. Manasaivedamaptavyam. Idam Brahma, this Brahman, Manasa eva aptavyam, should be attained. Aptavyam, Manasa eva, by mind alone. There are people who think you have to get rid of the mind. You have to stop your mind. Then you will get Brahman. This is Purva Paksha. The Shruti says it is not so. You don't have to stop your mind. Instead, manas needs to be used, because mind is the instrument. Manaha is karanam. Mind is the instrument to understand Brahman. Because any knowledge happens in the manas. Knowledge is a vritti, a modification in our mind. Any knowledge, whether it is knowledge of the pot, knowledge of the flower, knowledge of the leaf, knowledge of the table, knowledge of the book, it happens only in the mind. It cannot happen in the teeth. It cannot happen in the stomach. It happens only in the mind. A vritti. Likewise, even Brahmajnana is a vritti, a modification, a thought in our mind, a cognition in our mind. Therefore, just like any other knowledge, even to get Brahmajnana, we need manas. Manasa eva. There is no other way than making use of our mind. That is why the mind needs to be prepared. The mind has to be prepared for Atmajnana. That is why we need the process of Chitta Shuddhi. If mind is not needed, there is no need of Chitta Shuddhi. You keep the mind away and get Atmajnana. It is not possible. We have to make use of the mind. That is why the mind has to be prepared. A prepared mind, a refined mind, is ready for Atmajnana. It serves as a tool for Atmajnana. In fact, even the importance of Atmajnana can be understood only by a prepared mind. That is why it is not a wonder that Vedanta does not become popular. It will never become popular. It is never meant for the masses. Even Krishna says, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschidyatati siddhaye. Only one or two among thousands. Why? The mind is not prepared. So, a prepared mind is ready for Atmajnana. A purified mind serves as a tool for Atmajnana. Now, one might as well ask a question. There is a seeming contradiction between two different statements in the Upanishad itself. When we study Kenopanishad, we come across a statement. What? Yan manasa na manute. Yan manasa na manute. It cannot be known by means of manas. And in Taittiriyopanishad, yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. Yato vacho nivartante. The words return. The words cannot reach Brahman. Aprapya manasa saha. And even the manas cannot reach Brahman. It returns. That means even the manas cannot objectify Brahman. There are such statements in the Shruti itself. Yan manasana manute ityadayaha. And then we come across statements like manasai vedamaptavyam, drishyate tvagreya buddhya sukshmaya sukshmadarshibihi. There are two statements that seem to be mutually contradictory to each other. And this seeming contradiction is resolved by the acharyas by saying, by explaining, by the explanation of vritti-vyapti and phala-vyapti. When the Shruti says manasai vedamaptavyam, it means vritti-vyapti is needed. And when the Shruti says yan manasana manute, phala-vyapti is not possible. The mind cannot know Brahman as object. But that does not mean the understanding of Brahman cannot happen with the mind. It cannot be known as object, but it can be understood as one's own self. Therefore, manasai vedamaptavyam. The Shruti does not rule out the need for mind. So the mind has to be prepared, purified with the various spiritual practices. Karma yoga, upasanam, all these contribute in the process of purification of mind. Then another question arises. If the mind is pure, will Atmajnana happen all of a sudden, automatically, in a pure mind? Then Shankaracharya says, it will not happen. Because purity of mind is definitely needed. It is a preparation. But in the meantime, we should understand that jnana depends on a pramana. Knowledge cannot happen without proper means of knowledge. Manadhina meya siddhi. Jnana happens only through a pramana. If I have to see the color of this flower, I have only one pramana. I have to employ my eyes, my chakshurindriya. My chakshurindriya is a pramana to know the color of this flower. If I don't open my chakshurindriya, if I don't open my eyes and I try to know the color of this flower with the touch, what is the color? Is it red or blue? I cannot know. Because the touch the sense of touch is handicapped as far as the knowledge of color is concerned. It cannot know. Touch can only know whether it is smooth or hard, or hot or cold. It cannot know the color. But then I say, no, I won't open my eyes. If it has a color, I should know it with the touch. If I cannot know the color with the touch, there is no color at all. Then you cannot help me. You have to wish me the best. I cannot even smell the color. I can only smell the fragrance. And it doesn't seem to have any fragrance at all. But it is an original flower, but without much fragrance. I don't know whether it doesn't have a fragrance or I cannot smell the fragrance. So, everything has its own pramana. A given object, a given truth has to be known with the given means of knowledge. And every means of knowledge has its own specific domain, its own specific field of operation. Eyes cannot smell the color. Eyes cannot smell the fragrance. Eyes cannot know heat and cold. They are devised to see only color. Likewise, to understand the true nature of Brahman, we have to employ a totally different means of knowledge, a different type of pramana, and that is Vedanta pramana. Gurupadishta Vedanta Vakya. The Vedanta Vakya taught by a guru serves as a pramana. a means of knowledge to understand the Atma, the Brahman. Therefore, Shankaracharya will say later on, the manas which is aligned with Shastra and Acharya, the manas which is tuned to the Shastra and Acharya, that kind of a manas serves as a means, serves as an instrument to attain Brahman. Therefore, manasaivedamaptavyam, idam brahma manasa eva aptavyam. The Brahman has to be attained, aptavyam, by manas alone. Aptavyam. The Shruti uses the word aptavyam, and we should remember it is praptasya praptihi. Attainment of the one that is already attained. Kanthachamikaravat, like kanthachamikara, like necklace that this person is already wearing. And the praptasya prapti is a jnanena, only with the knowledge. Jnanena aptavyam. With the knowledge, one should attain it. And when the knowledge arises, the ajnana is dispelled. And once the ajnana goes away, there is no more dvaita. Neha nanasti kinchana. Iha nana na asti. There is no nana. There is no duality. Nana means a duality. Iha brahmani nana na asti. There is no duality in Brahman. All duality is when there is ajnana. The duality remains in the domain of ignorance. When there is ignorance, you attribute reality. You attribute satyatva to the duality. But when the ajnana is dispelled, no more duality. Nana na asti. Because you are awake to the absolute truth, which is one without a second. Ekameva advitiyam. In the second half, the Shruti states what happens if one does not get this knowledge. The loss of not having Atmajnana. What one loses if one doesn't have Atmajnana. Mrityos samrityum gacchati ya ihananeva pashyati. yaha iha nana iva pashyati. Yaha, referring to ajnani, an ignorant person who chooses to remain ignorant. He has chosen to remain ignorant. Iha, iha brahmani, in the Brahman. Nana iva pashyati. Nana iva. All duality is iva. Iva means it is not absolute, as though. All duality is as though. But the as though appears to be real as long as there is ajnana. Just like the dream. The dream appears to be real as long as you are asleep. For a dreamer, the dream is very much real. Even if someone tells him it is a dream, within the dream, he won't accept. For a dreamer, the dream world is real. And such a person we say, swapnam pashyati. From the waker's standpoint, it is just swapna. It is just a dream. And swapna is iva, as though tiger, as though lion. And you are as though suffering, as though a beggar, as though old man, as though a samsari, as though drowning in water. From the waker's standpoint. But for a dreamer, it is real. So he pashyati. Swapnam pashyati means he sees reality. He sees a dream. Likewise, now the Shruti is speaking from the standpoint of a jnani, like a jnani. Nana iva. That which is as though real, as though manifold, as though duality, pashyati. He sees that, means he is seeing it as real. That is the significance of pashyati. Pashyati includes attribution of reality, seeing it as real, though it is actually iva, as though. Nana iva pashyati. What happens? Mrityo samrityum gacchati. He goes from death to death, travels from death to death. If the Shruti says he travels from birth to birth, it doesn't seem so bad. Going from birth to birth seems okay for some people. That is why the Shruti uses another phrase, travels from death to death. Because every birth includes a death also. No problem in having one more janma. No problem in having one more birth because we can celebrate birthday once again. But the birthday includes so many other things. Every span of life is infested with so many problems. Janma, birth itself is a problem if you think. If you are a Viveki, the problem starts even before birth. Garbhavasaha. Staying in mother's womb itself is a problem. You have to shrink yourself. You cannot even stretch your legs and hands. Garbhavasa. Then Janma, birth. And childhood is another problem. Childhood is traumatic. If you really think of childhood, nobody wants to become a child once again. There is helplessness in childhood. There is unpredictability in childhood. The child doesn't know what her father or mother will do or say. There is unpredictability. And adolescence has its own problem. Youth have their own problem. Then middle age. Middle age has middle age crisis. Then old age has its own problem, which is another study in itself. Geriatrics. Old age problem. Both physical and mental. And finally, death. People don't know how the death is going to be. We don't know how our death is going to be. Whether it is an anayasena maranam or whether it is dying in ICU. Being in ICU for several months and then dying. This person also suffers and the others also suffer, paying the hospital bill. There can be any type of death. Mrityu. So when we think about all these, we get Vairagya. To cultivate Vairagya, one should keep thinking about the problems associated with life. That is why in Bhagavad Gita chapter 13, Krishna says, Janma mrityu jaravyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam. One of the 20 qualities in a jijnasu. Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam. Anudarshanam. Being aware of it repeatedly. How difficult the life is, how painful the life is. Then you get the Vairagya gets strengthened. I don't want one more janma. And that is what motivates a person to commit to Atmajnana. If we think life is pleasant, people don't seek Atmajnana with such a great interest, with such a great commitment. Therefore, Vedanta is for such people who don't want one more Janma. They want to get rid of one more Janma, and they also want to get rid of the problems in this Janma as well. The psychological problems, the psychological vulnerability, emotional susceptibility to all our problems in life. Sorrow, loneliness, sense of lacking, atripti, insecurity, bhaya, and so on and so on. We can keep listing our psychological problems. All are because of Atmajnana, Ajnana, self-ignorance. Samsara is a product of self-ignorance. And Vedanta acts as a bombshell on the self-ignorance. It destroys self-ignorance and makes a person free from the susceptibility to emotional problems. Therefore, jnana leads to moksha. And the jnana phala, when we look at the jnana phala as described in the Shastra, the purpose of Atmajnana, we find twofold: Jivan Mukti and Videha Mukti. Jivan Mukti, you are enjoying the result of knowledge as and when you are alive. And it is in the form of freedom from psychological issues, freedom from helplessness, the ability to withstand shocks in life, and so on. And a sense of satisfaction within yourself. Atmanyeva atmana tushtaha, vitaraga bhayakrodhaha. All these are descriptions of Jivan Mukti. Likewise, there are descriptions like freedom from one more Janma, as it is described here. Ya iha naneva pashyati, saha mrityoha mrityum gacchati. If one does not see, if one is not able to see the truth and he sees the duality, then he continues from death to death. We have to see the contrary. If he is able to see the truth, if he is able to understand the truth, he is free from mrityoha mrityum. He is free from the journey from death to death, meaning he is free from embodiment, videha mukti. See the Bhashya. प्रागेकत्व विज्ञानात् आचार्यागम संस्कृतेन मनसा इदं ब्रह्म एकरसम् आप्तव्यम् आत्मैव नान्यदस्तीति प्राग एकत्व विज्ञानात् आचार्यागम संस्कृतेन मनसा इदं ब्रह्म आप्तव्यम्. प्राग एकत्व विज्ञानात्, बिफोर एकत्व विज्ञान, one should undergo some refinement. The mind has to be made ready before Atmajnana. And the readiness involves chitta shuddhi, purification of mind, and then tuning the mind to Acharya and Agama. Acharya Agama Samskritena Manasa. Exposing the mind to Acharya and Agama. Agama means a Shastra, Vedanta Shastra. And it is Acharya Agama. Acharyena Upadishtaha Agamaha. The Agama, the Vedanta Vakya, taught by the Acharya, taught by the Guru. Samskritena manasa. The mind exposed to Acharya Agama. That is how one gets the jnana. And what is the jnana? Atmaiva na anyadastiti. Atma alone exists. Anyat na asti. Other than Atma does not exist. There is only one reality. It is Atma. It is myself. I am the only reality. Everything other than my true self is mithya. It is a lesser reality. The self alone is real. Anything other than self is unreal. When I talk about me, I say myself. Myself. When I talk about you, I say yourself. And when I refer to some other thing, itself, himself, herself, The world can be divided into three. First person, myself. Then second person, yourself. Then third person, himself, herself, itself. First person, second person, and third person. In all of them, we find one thing common. Myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself. The self is same in everything. Myself is also self. What is self? Atma. Yourself is also self. Atma. Himself, herself, itself is also self. Atma. Therefore, the self is all pervasive. It is present in everything, common for everything. Then what makes the difference? My, your, him, her, it. All these prefixes make the difference. If you leave the prefix is upadhi. When I associate with this body, it becomes myself. Otherwise, it is just self. When I associate with another upadhi, it becomes yourself. Otherwise, it is just self. When I associate with some other upadhi, it becomes itself, herself, himself. So, Atma eva idam sarvam. Everything is Atma, self. Na anyat. There is nothing other than Atma. Iti nanyadasti. Anything other than Atma does not exist. Iti jnanena. With this understanding, and the understanding happens in the mind. Idam Brahma aptavyam. This Brahman is to be attained, should be attained. Brahma ekarasam. Brahman is ekarasam. One without a second, without duality. Aptecha नानात्व प्रत्युपस्थापिकायाः अविद्यायाः निवृत्तत्वात् इह ब्रह्मणि नाना नास्ति किंचन अणुमात्रमपि आप्तेच. When the Brahmajnana is attained, then Nanatva pratyupasthapikayaha avidyayaha nivrittatvat. The jnana removes the ajnana, avidya. Avidyayaha nivrittatvat. the avidya is removed. And what does the avidya do? Nanatva pratyupasthapika avidya. Avidya that presents nanatva. Avidya that presents duality, bheda. Duality is a projection of avidya. Therefore, after the avidya nivritti, after the removal of avidya, iha brahmani, in Brahman, nana nasti, there is no nana, kinchana, even a little bit, anumatramapi, even an iota of nana is removed, does not exist. He does not see any bheda, any difference. There is only Brahman, nothing other than Brahman. And he does not see himself as different from Brahman also. He doesn't even say, I am a little different from Brahman. Even a little different from Brahman is also samsara. Absolutely no difference. Yastu punaha avidyatimira drishtim na munchati iha brahmani nana iva pashyati saha mrityoho mrityum gacchatyeva swalpamapi bhedam adhyaropayan ityarthaha yastu punaha tu punaha indicates vailakshanya, unlike a jnani. Yaha, an ajnani, avidyatimira drishtim na munchati. He does not give up the avidya. He is not ready to get rid of his ignorance. In spite of pramana being available, he is not ready to employ the pramana. He is not ready to employ the proper means of knowledge. Reluctant to open his eyes to the Absolute. Avidyatimira drishtim na munchati. He does not give up avidya. Voluntarily, he sticks to avidya. Voluntary ignorance. I want to remain ignorant. He chooses to remain ignorant. Because the pramana is very much available. One can easily attain knowledge. But the person is reluctant to give up avidya. Na munchati, does not give up avidya. And the Acharya compares avidya to timira, cataract. It is a dosha in our eyes, an eye disease, cataract. And if one has cataract, he will have a distorted vision. One might appear as two. Instead of seeing one pot, he will see two pots. Instead of seeing one flower, he will see two flowers. Because of a distorted vision, distorted eyesight. And the distortion is caused by the disease, the eye disease, timira. So, avidya drishti, the vision, the distorted vision caused by ignorance. It is like a timira drishti, the vision distorted by cataract. And the person is not ready to give it up. Why he is not ready to give it up? Because he is reluctant to accept the Shastra as pramana. He doesn't trust Shastra pramana. Also, he is attracted to the world. He thinks this world is real, very much real, and it is promising. Why I should give up the world and accept a different vision? He is reluctant. Then what happens? Iha brahmani nana iva pashyati. Iha brahmani, in Brahman, nana iva pashyati. He attributes reality to the nana, to the dualistic universe. Saha mrityoha mrityum gacchati. He travels from death to death. Gacchati eva. Definitely he will travel from death to death. Swalpamapi bhedam adhyaropayan ityarthaha. Swalpamapi bhedam adhyaropayan. Even if he attributes reality to the bheda, even a little bit of duality, if it is retained in his mind, he thinks the duality, bheda, is a little real, even that is enough to keep him in samsara. That is why anything less short of Advaita is a swalpamapi bhedam adhyaropayan. He superimposes a little difference. He may call it Advaita, Vishishtadvaita, or Dvaitadvaita. All these are swalpamapi bhedam. We accept a little difference, not full difference. But it is difference. Whether it is less difference or more difference, it is difference, nonetheless. Therefore, he is caught up in samsara. Swalpamapi bhedam adhyaropayan. If he attributes even a little bit of difference between himself and Brahman. Mrityoha mrityum gacchati. He is not free from samsara. Therefore, the Shruti advises a mumukshu to seek the knowledge of oneness, to seek the knowledge of Advaita. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ